So I just wanted to document just a couple of missing things. There were a couple of great videos out there that really helped me get this fuel pump replaced, but I wanted to show you first of all where the places you're actually trying to get to are. So we're in the rear passenger side door, and there's the third row seat, and right in front of that, underneath the carpeting, is where the fuel pump is. And then the other place that you'll need to get to is over here on the other side, underneath what would be the driver's side rear passenger, is another portal. And so the fuel pump goes in this side. There's the old one there. And then the other side has attached underneath that second portal this piece here. And so what you'll want to be careful of doing before you remove the old fuel pump is make sure you tie a string or something onto this end, so to use as like a leader line, so that when you go to put the new one in, you can drag it back to the correct spot. Otherwise, my understanding is it's tough. Okay, so once you get this far, you'll see that there are these retaining rings, this plastic retaining ring here with these notches in them. So there is a special tool available you can buy online for about 40 bucks, or if you're cheap and kind of handy, you can do what I did and make one out of 4-inch PVC pipe. And you see I got a hole there and a hole on the other side, so you can put a screwdriver through. That just goes down there on those grooves and you can get them undone. I had a really hard time getting that one off, the old one, and I ended up destroying it, so I had to just buy a new ring for $16. This fuel pump I found online for $192.75, including tax and shipping. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and put the car back together, so you'll kind of see tearing it apart in reverse order. So I've put the cover back on here. It's very simple. It's just a plate, 4 bolts, 10 millimeter. And so this is where I want to point out that if you don't want to have to yank out the whole rear row assembly, which means you have to take out all of the side panels inside here, and it just looked like a nightmare to me. You're going to have to take a razor blade to your carpeting and cut a slice in it. And so you can see where I've cut through this part right here, and so we'll do some more here in a second. So this piece of plastic here comes apart, will come apart there, and then it will pull out from behind in here. The part goes up in here and turns and goes like that. So you probably will have to bend it here to get it apart, and I just put it back in. So again, the carpeting was cut from right by where the handle is, and then straight over here right to there, and that was pretty much it, I believe. This piece of styrofoam I just cracked in half there, since I didn't have to get the other side undone, and it goes underneath all of this stuff here. So on this side now, I'm just going to go ahead and put the cover back on, and then we can put this piece of styrofoam down where it belongs on top of it. Okay, so we got all that put down. Then we can just put our carpeting back down, and we'll get all this tucked in where it belongs. Almost there. Okay, so we've got the carpeting all put back in, and just put back these vents here that go underneath the seat on both sides. They just pull right off, no problem. you can tell that once you get everything put back together, you really can't even tell the carpeting was sliced. So it definitely was the right way for me to go. So we're ready to put the seats back in. I'm going to start with the center console. The center seat has this electrical connection that's part of the airbag system. So that needs to get hooked back up, and you need to disconnect that before you try to pull it out when you're removing it in the first place. Okay, so each seat just has 4 bolts, 2 in the front, 1 on this side, 1 on the other side, and 2 in the back. And these are all covered with these plastic covers, which you'll see in a little bit. Okay, so we got all the seats in, and I just wanted to point out that there are these covers that cover up the whatever this is, the sliders and stuff. These just slide on front here, and then in the back these just snap over top of the bolts. Really easy. And to get them off, you just take a screwdriver and pry them off. They pop right off. So the only other thing I have to say, we're basically done here, is make sure you have the tank as empty as possible before you start, and don't forget to disconnect the battery before you start digging around with the fuel pump. And that's it.